So in this video, let's tackle the windows. We're going to tear them out, we're going to clean them up, we're going to polish them up, we're going to put new gaskets in, and we're going to reinstall. Well, I ordered my new window gaskets. They should be here in a couple of days, so I'm taking out the window frames. This is what they looked like before, all gunked up, corroded, paint all over them. And so we're going to clean these up. We're going to put paint stripper on them, get the paint off, and then we're going to wire brush them with a brass wheel, and then we're going to polish them up, see if we can't make them look new and get them ready for the glass to be put back in. So here's the paint stripper we use, West Marine paint remover. And so we've gunked these up completely. I covered everything just in case it does something weird to the aluminum. It'll do it weird everywhere. The only problem is that paint stripper is about 2 years old, and I bet it don't work very good. I see the paint crinkled a little bit. It's been about 10 minutes. And there it is, it's crinkled more right there, so it might be enough that it will come off, and we'll find out in a few minutes. Alright, so I've been practicing to polishing the aluminum trim. So this is what I did. That top edge only is polished, and then the rest of it's just going to be the flat gray. So here's the polished edge on that one, no polished edge on that, and that's just the aluminum. 400 grit, 600 grit, 800, and 1500 grit, and then polish it out with compound. It's not 100% because there's some factory lines in there from the extrusion that you can't get rid of, but sure makes a nice contrast. Today's Tuesday, and my package came from Catalina direct. So this is the kit for putting the windows back together. We got some tape, some anti-seize stuff, popcorn, rubber gaskets. That's that filler piece and the piece that goes around the glass, which is going to be interesting because I was looking at my windows. My window don't have a rubber gasket. Well, maybe that's a rubber gasket that's just totally dried out and looks like caulking. So yeah, it is a rubber gasket. Okay, it's just so old it looks like just caulking. And so we got sealant, some more sealant, and that's it. That's everything we need, hopefully. Should be. So we'll take this apart and see how difficult this is going to be. On YouTube, of course, looks easy. Pull it apart, seal it, put it back on, so we'll see. So we got some work, but it's here. So now we can get started. This morning I painted the cab, or the coach house, the dog house, whatever you want to call it, the top of the boat. It's over at the shed drying. And so I'll bring that back this afternoon. So perfect timing. I get these done, we can get the windows in. So let's get started. The back of the window. Have some fun getting that caulking off of there. But those are the two screws. I already took the two off the other side. Then we take these two off. And see, and there's a little clip in there. So once we do that on this side, she should come apart with a nice little prying. So these babies are tough. So I take a putty knife, crack it open first. Hit that a little more. There's one thing you don't want to do. I'm sure you don't want to break the glass. That would be a real pain. Yeah, let's try this side here. All right, that side's loose. So we just got to get the other side pulled apart. So it's just a matter of working it loose. I know, I probably need something to hold my camera. This is just for more documentation. So we'll just turn the camera off and pull on it. So I just kept gently pulling on it, and it does come off. Gently. And there she comes apart. So there was a rubber gasket. So what I thought was caulking was the rubber gasket. That's good. So we got to clean the glass and clean all this up. get it cleaned up and get it ready. There's all. We got it pulled apart, so it had the rubber gasket on there plus a bunch of caulking. So I think we're gonna be in pretty good shape. Boy, that sucker, 34 years of gunk, that's what that is. Yeah, see that, they got that caulking around everything. Into the trash with that. All right, started the polishing process. So here's 120. Haven't done anything to this. I'll work this way on all the way up so you can see. So already looking a little better. We'll keep working. There you go. There's a before and an after. I think on this inside one, I'll tape this off and I'm gonna paint this black just to add to the window dimension a little bit. So before and after. That's half of one window. Took me 15 minutes to do. So a half hour per window. All right, there's the outside window. There's one of them done. That little inside edge, I'll tape off the shiny part. I'm gonna paint that inside edge black with some appliance enamel. But there's one. Took me less than 30 minutes. Not counting the taking it apart part, but 30 minutes to polish it. So there's the outside. All right, so I'll give you a quick look. Good. Here's one done, not put together, just all cleaned up and ready to go back together. So here's a before. Not looking so good. And then here's an after. So I'd say it's pretty good difference. I'll tell you what, this glass here had that like salt etched on it, so I used rubbing compound, and that took all that old salt etching off that glass. So she is looking pretty mighty fine and ready to go. So we keep going. Should have them all done today, and maybe even put back together today. Well, I thought I'd bring the window outside. So this one is done. Got all 4 of them are done now. I don't know if you can really see. Got the shiny edge, and then that's just the standard edge on the inside, but all the windows are all done. I'll tell you what, that was a little work to get them in there, but you just take your time and work it, and you will get them in there. So we got 4 beautiful looking windows to go back into boat this afternoon. Oh, here's a little display. Windows, wood trim all done. 2 more windows back there. So we're getting it. Slowly but surely the parts are getting put together, and we'll put them back on the boat here. All right, so there's one window in. Looks mighty fine. Put the butyl tape around it, so we just have to trim that off, and then we'll go to window number 2. But there's the first window installed. There you go, window number 1 is in. Trimmed and done. It is there to stay. There's my nice holes for the chain plates. My chain plates showed up today. In 2 days, that's quick. So there's window number 1. Let's go to window number 2. There we go. Windows are in. Hull is done. Side over here, 2 more done. And we've got to paint all the top texture, and then do the rail here, and in the back half. But that's our windows for now. And the doghouse is getting there. Getting close.